In this video, we're going to continue with our exponent rules, but now we're going to look at fractional exponents. And fractional exponents are a different way to write radicals. So a to the 1 over n, well, that's the equivalent of saying the nth root of a. So 4 to the half, for example, means the square root of 4, which would be 2. So similarly, a to the m over n instead of 1 now, well, that simply means the nth root of a to the power of m. And another way to write that is the nth root of a all to the power of m. And sometimes it's convenient to use this form, sometimes it's convenient to use the other form. And so we can use these to reduce different things with fractional exponents. So we're going to work through some examples, and we'll move our screen up here so we can see the examples. If you're comfortable with the rules, pause the video, try some of these examples. If not, watch a couple, and then pause it and try the rest. So the first one here, 8 to the 2 over 3, well, we're going to begin by saying, well, that means we have the cube root, because the 3 is on bottom, of 8 squared. The cube root of 8, well, that's 2. So 2 squared, and that gives you 4. Or we can write it the other way, and I'm not going to do this for all of them, but we'll do it for this one. We can say that's the cube root of 8, and the squared can be with the 8. Well, that means it's the cube root of 64, and that is also equal to 4. So it doesn't matter which way you write it, you end up with the result of 4. So for this one then, we're asked to find the 64 to the power of 5 over 2. Well, that means the square root of 64. If there's no number written here, it means 2. So that's what we get when we have a half. So it's the square root of 64 to the power of 5. And that means 8 to the power of 5. And we'll leave 8 to the power of 5. You can put it on your calculator if you want. It's a large number, but we're fine with 8 to the 5. Here we have 16, and it's going to be the fourth root of 16 cubed. The fourth root of 16 is 2, so that means 2 cubed, and 2 cubed is 8. 4 to the negative 1 over 2, well, we'll start by saying that means 1 over root 4, or 1 over 4 to the half, and that means 1 over 2. Then it goes to the denominator because of the negative exponent. And we'll just keep going. 9 to the 3 over 2 means square root cubed, so that means 3 cubed, which is 27. 1/3 here, we're going to have to use our exponent rule that says 1/3 goes with each of the terms inside, or each of the factors inside, because they're all multiplied together. So 8 to the 1 over 3, a to the 2 over 3, 2 multiplied by 1 over 3, and b to the 4 over 3, 4 multiplied by 1 over 3. So 8 to the 1 over 3, that's the cube root of 8, which is 2. And a to the 2 over 3 can't be simplified, and b to the 4 over 3 can't be simplified, so we can leave it like that. A to the 3 over 4 and a to the 4 over 5, well, same base, so we can add the exponents. So that's the same as a to the 3 over 4 plus 4 over 5. And if we add those two things together, we end up with a to the 31 over 20. And if we wanted to write that as a radical, which we don't need to, we can leave it like this, but just out of curiosity, it would be the 20th root of a to the 31. But the exponent is plenty adequate for that. And so we have two more we're going to look at, h and I. This is a much larger one, and there's lots of ways to start doing this. You can put the bases that are the same together first. You can take care of the negatives first. You can take care of the 2 over 3 outside first. And it doesn't matter which way you do it, you'll get to the same answer. So let us say we want to simplify inside first, and we'll ignore the 2 over 3. Well, we can bring the negative exponent down, so we'll end up with x to the 1 over 3, and now that came from the negative here coming up, x to the 2 over 3, and that's all that's on top. In the bottom we have 4 to the 3 over 2, 2 to the 3 over 2, y to the 7 over 4, and y to the 3 over 4. Okay, so that's all the pieces that have negative moved down bottom, negative moved up top, negative moved down bottom. And all of that is still to the power of 2 over 3. So if we keep going, we put the exponents here, we add them because the bases are the same. So that gives us actually x to the 1 over 4 and 2 are different bases, but we can actually change 4 to be a power of 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 4 is 2 squared, and that's all to the 3 over 2. And that's times 2 to the 3 over 2. And y, we have y to the 7 over 4 and y to the 3 over 4. And that gives us y to the 10 over 4, or 5 over 2. So all we have left to deal with now is the exponent outside and the 2. So that's 2 over 3. The 2 here, let's take this up top so we can see it a bit easier. 2 squared to the 3 over 2 times 2 to the 3 over 2. Well, 2 times 3 over 2, the 2's here actually cancel, and we're left with 2 to the 3 times 2 to the 3 over 2. The bases are now the same, so we can add the exponents, and we end up with 2 to the 9, or to the 9 over 2. And we can just leave that like that and put it back down here now. So now we have x over 2 to the 9 over 2 times y to the 5 over 2, all to the power of 2 over 3. So now we have to deal with the 2 over 3. So we multiply each of the exponents here by 2 over 3, and that will give us our final answer. So 1 times 2 over 3 is 2 over 3. 2 over 3 times 9 over 2 is actually just 3. So if you reduce that, you get 3. And 5 over 2 times 2 over 3, that gives us y to the 5 over 3. So we can leave this as our final answer, or we can simplify 2 to the 3 as 8. Either way, that's the simplified form there. So a lot more work in this question. There was lots of other ways to start it. Hopefully you could follow those steps. The final one here then for this video, here we have a negative exponent. It's only applied to those factors here. So we get 1 over 4x to the 4 all to the power of a half. That takes care of the negative. Minus 3 over x to the 3. And you notice the difference here. Here the negative is only with the x. Here it's with the whole thing in the bracket. So that's why everything came down here, and only the x came down here. That means we get 1 over the square root of 4, which is 2. That's what the half tells us. The square root of x to the 4, well, that's just x squared. And that's minus 3 over x cubed. Common denominator would be 2x cubed, so we end up with x minus 6 over 2x cubed as our final answer. So we'll stop the video there. There's lots there for you to take in. Do some more practice from your book. If you have any questions, come get some help as soon as you can, and we'll see you in the next lesson.